Welcome everyone to the 2017-2018 school year. This year we're going to use an electronic version of a planning guide. As you see on this spreadsheet, there are concepts on the left very similar to the essential standards charts of the past. For example, here, unit name. All you have to do is click on the box and you can type in the unit name, integers. If that is your unit name, that's what you would type. Below that next box you see academic vocabulary and key concepts. What is the academic vocabulary? What are the key concepts you are going to teach for the unit? Below there are the unit dates. When do you plan on teaching this unit? How long do you plan on teaching this unit? Etc. Below there you have essential questions. What are the essential questions I'm going to ask? And here you can create a resource bank for everyone in your PLC to look at the essential questions and have some to put on their board. When am I going to assess this? When is our assessment date? Because we planned our assessment already. When is my assessment date? And then finally, on the top part here, you have your data dive meeting date. When are we going to disaggregate our data and look at what we need to do to improve student learning? Below all of this information, you will see an area for your standards right here. And below that are all the standards you have for your course. The most time-involved piece of this will be inputting all your standards right here in this column. So whatever subject you teach, you just have to make sure your standards fit here. The example listed here is already completed for Math 1. So as I create my assessment, I realize, okay, I'm using this standard. Now, all I have to do is click on that box, and I type X. And then I'm going to use this standard too. X, and then I'll use this standard, X, and finally I'll pick two more quickly so you can see and you'll get the point. Now, as you see, it already says over here to automatically check the previously assessed standards. Where this comes into play is you see the tabs below here where you have Assessment 1, Assessment 2, Assessment 3, and Assessment 4. If you click on any of those tabs here, it will already show you what standards were assessed. And the same for 3, and the same for 4. So anytime you check anything over on this side under the assessment standards used, it's always going to check in that previously assessed standards box. The last piece of this planning guide is the very bottom where it's the potential barriers and remediation tools and activities. As you're planning, think back to your last year's lessons and what were some of the areas of concern that students had. What were some areas that they struggled with? What can we be prepared for to help prevent our students from not succeeding? All you would do here is kind of type that information in here. Now, it will be different year to year, but this also gives us a head start on projecting where our students might experience trouble. I hope this works for y'all. Thanks.